Hello everyone and welcome to the first impressions video of Knights of the Eternal Throne. And Jesus Christ, what the fuck has gone wrong with this game, really? I went into this with low expectations, expecting to be disappointed, and I'm really disappointed with this now. I'm so fucking disappointed. I did chapter 1 and had to just fucking quit the game, right? It was so bad. Jesus. That input lag is incredible. It's unplayable. I mean, I did it on veteran difficulty. The footage that you are looking at is veteran difficulty. Okay? And how do they make it hard, you're wondering? Well, your abilities don't work when you press the button. That's basically it. I died so many times just because I'm sitting there trying to interrupt, doesn't work. I try stock strike, doesn't work half the time. Assault plastic doesn't work. It seems to be the indoor areas that you have these issues. A lot of the ads are spread out all over the fucking place. So, well, thanks for giving us new AoE abilities. Thanks for that, BioWare. They're fucking useless because everything's just so spread out. And what you have to do is kill one, kill the other one. It's so boring. It's so tedious. Every trash pool is tedious. Sky Troopers are just annoying. They're not hard, they're just annoying now. Really, they've got too much health. They don't really do much. You can shut them down fairly easily. Use Assault Plastique if it decides to go off. Sometimes it goes on cooldown and doesn't apply to the enemy. Really, and the less said about that walker thing, the better. That was utter shit. I mean, I thought, oh cool, we're getting to go in a walker. Took me 20 minutes to get into one. Wouldn't go into it. I'd click the button 5 or 6 times just to get her into the bloody thing. And then it was a fucking mess. It went on for about 20 minutes. Far too long. With the same few abilities. I don't like vehicle sections in MMOs. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan when World of Warcraft does it. I'm not a huge fan of them, but WoW mercifully is short at least. At least it has the decency to make it short. I like to play my class, you know, but this just went on far too long, and that was my overall impression of the first chapter. It goes on and on and on without any real substance, without any real meaning. Just goes on. Just fight this set of trash. Why? It's the same as the previous set. I don't know. Lather, rinse, repeat, basically. I don't like their idea of difficulty. I mean, their idea of difficulty was just to throw enemies at you until you die. And it's like, I'm gonna die because you're just throwing constant enemies at me, and I can't heal up between. I did use a healer companion. Not very high levels. It seems they've nerfed the companion levels. I had Vet at level 20. She's been reduced to level 10 for some reason. Also, I was not a subscriber through September and October. I subscribed October 28th, okay? 3 days after the Shave Isla reward expired. Surprise, surprise, I found in my mailbox, Shave Isla Companion. And apparently I got early access as well. I didn't play it on the early access day either, because I thought, nah, I wasn't a subscriber through October. I'm not getting early access. I'm just not going to play it until today, which is December 1st, until it goes live. Or is it December 2nd, December 1st? I don't know. I thought I'll play it, I'll log in today, and I'll see if it's gone live, and we'll see what we can do. And yeah, I had early access, so much for being a premium player for to get early access. I wasn't certainly a premium player. You had to be a subscriber from October the 25th. I subscribed October 28th. I was unsubscribed. My subscription runs out December 28th. Doubt we'll be renewing it at this rate. I did chapter 1. I don't want to play it anymore. Like, I finished chapter 1 and I just all F4'd in the cutscene for chapter 2. I just had to press it. Got up to level 66. Almost level 67. Playing on my Vanguard, not playing on the Marauder. I want to see the Vanguard changes. Some of them are alright. The replacement for Mortar Volley is alright, really. You can channel it while moving. Doesn't have the same range as Mortar Volley though, but being able to channel while moving is quite nice as well. That's alright. Be nice if the enemies would stay closer together so we could actually use it. You know, I was just using it randomly. Just to see what it did. Flak Shell is alright. It's just a different version of Missile Blast. They've removed Sticky Grenade. It's no big deal, really. The replacement for your Ion cannon or your Pulse cannon, I don't really like it. It doesn't channel, so I guess you got more mobility now in Plasma. Haven't played Plasma yet, but you get more mobility from Plasma at least, so there's something there at least for you. For your dot spread, so that's not a bad little change. You've got a bit more mobility as a Vanguard. I don't like the fact that half our abilities are now melee range now. It really does suck for melee, let's be honest. And everything being all spread out is annoying as hell for melee. And you've got those little droids that shoot fire, very melee unfriendly. Yeah, you can interrupt them, but of course your interrupt is always on cooldown. You want to save that for big things. Your stun's always on cooldown. A lot of times I just ran out of cooldowns, and that's why I died, because I've used all my cooldowns. I mean, they said they balanced it around being a DPS with a healer companion. I find myself taunting a hell of a lot, and if I'm taunting as a Vanguard, that to me suggests it's more balanced around being a tank. I think if you're going to play on Veteran, especially, I think Veteran may be balanced for level 70, fair enough, or having a higher level companion. Lana was only, I think, 8. And Theron was only 3, rank 3 healer companion. So I guess I was doing it with a companion that was not as intended. They have said rank 20, although, I mean, I only have M14X, who was 28, now down to 22 for some weird reason. I don't know if it's bugged at this point. It feels like pre-alpha KOTET, Knights of the Fallen, or Knights, KOTET, should we say, KOTET. It's like pre-alpha, is what I would call this. The build quality is atrocious. Indoor areas are unplayable. Okay, the frame pacing is all over the place. The frame rate isn't too bad. You get the odd dip down to 40 FPS, but it's not too bad. The frame pacing makes it feel horrible. I mean, I looked at the graph on MSI Afterburner. It was never a straight line. Despite the frame rate being 60 FPS, the frames were coming in, some were coming in too soon, some were coming in too late. It was just uneven. It was just like it's a wobbly line rather than a straight line. You should have, what, 16.1 millisecond frame time at 60 FPS. Very rarely was it that, but it gives the feeling of jerkiness. It just makes the game feel... I don't know if it'll come out on the video. I'm not going to show you the indoor areas because they were just unplayable. Storm did not work half the time indoors. Okay, you press Storm and it would go on cooldown. Your character wouldn't move. Character would not move. The Walker one as well, where you would try, you'd shoot the lasers. You would see it would go on cooldown. You would see the target take damage, but you wouldn't see the actual laser firing towards your target, which was weird. I mean, you ended up sitting there hitting the key several times, and I just lost confidence in my abilities, because when you press an ability, you then press another ability. Okay, you don't hang about. You press, 6, then 3, then 4, and it's a thing, but I'm pressing 6, 3, and 4, and 6 hasn't worked, 3 hasn't worked, and 4 hasn't worked. And I'm sitting there going, why is the thing still alive? Why is this thing not stunned? Why is my assault plastic not gone out? I sat there, and then you die, and you're like, oh, or I get 0 health, and then 20 seconds later, I'm dead. It's like, yeah, hurry up and throw up the death animation. So build quality is, again, predictable, really. It is the Steam Greenlight developer level that we've come to expect from modern day SWTOR. Again, the difficulty I'm not a fan of. I'm not going to play the rest of them on Veteran, at least until I'm level 70. I just don't think that the difficulty is worth it. I'm throwing enemies at you until you die. It's not very sophisticated. It's not a sophisticated way to do it. It's not a good way to do your difficulty curve. I mean, fine, I'm gonna use all my cooldowns. You spread out all the enemies. Enemies are untargetable for 4 or 5 seconds after they spawn. You target the enemy, you sit there, go through your rotation, and you're like, no target, no target, no target. And it's like, I hit the target, you hit the tab key, nothing happens. And all the while, they're damaging you. So veteran difficulty is something I'd steer clear of right now. Unless you've got like a high level Lana Beniko or Theron, Shan. Story-wise, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really done much of the story. It's alright, I suppose. But Not really going to comment on that, not going to do spoilers here. I've only done one chapter, so not going to be too interested. I wasn't too interested. The technical performance was so bad that I lost interest in the story because I'm sitting there going with stuttering and frame rate. Frame rate drops indoors in Voss. It used to be an issue back in vanilla. On Voss, it was actually an issue on Voss where you'd go indoors. Having the shadows on caused that back in vanilla, and I run with the shadows off. I run with a lot of settings. I was running with a few things on high. I run with a lot of things like the grass and the tree detail at minimum, just because Sword Squadron was awful with that. So I'm not even running it maxed out, and I'm getting issues. It used to be caused by the shadows that caused the issue, particularly on AMD cards. I had issues on an NVIDIA card as well with shadows, so I just leave the shadows off in SWTOR. I don't even touch them. But there you go. First impressions, not great. Not great. Sub runs out in December 28th. Will we last until December 28th? You really need to make a good first impression with this. And you only get one chance to make a first impression, really, with KOTET. I'm gonna get it right. But honestly, so far, not impressed, to be honest with you. The Vanguard's abilities, some of them are pretty cool, actually. Some of them are alright. I like that mortar volley replacement. It's pretty cool. It's alright, you know. Plasma, I might try Plasma for Chapter 2, but I haven't. I tried Tactics for Chapter 1, and it was kind of annoying, really. I think it's more balanced towards range DPS than melee, certainly. Their hatred for melee continues, this time in the story mode. Last time they hated stealthers, this time they hate melee, so go figure, they always hate something. Always hate on something. Never can design the thing quite right, can they? As Plasma, I want everything together because, of course, I want to cleave. You want to group everything up and cleave. It's the most, I think it's fun. The most fun way to do it is to get everything up and just cleave everything down. I don't like the fact that everything's separated. I mean, yeah, I've got a harpoon. As a Vanguard, I can use that, but then I can only pull one enemy and they just stand there and shoot you from distance and you have to just run around a lot, which isn't fun. At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it might make it artificially more difficult, but is it fun? Are you focusing too much on difficulty at the expense of fun? It has to be fun. Killing Sky Troopers that take too long to die isn't fun, because they're still fundamentally flawed in that they're not interesting. I liked some of the encounters. The fight with the Walker was alright. There was a fight with a droid as well, which was quite interesting. It had like mines that closed in. It had like a shockwave thing that knocked you back. It had a big conal thing. That was alright. I liked that fight. That was pretty cool. It wasn't difficult, but at least it had some interesting mechanics there. There was things to interrupt. You interrupted the shockwave, if you want to know. Interrupt the shockwave, just move out of the conal and move away whenever the mines come in close to you. So it had ranged and melee mechanics to look out for. So that was good. As a melee DPS, it was a little bit easier. So that one encounter was decent. You know, it was a bit of a test. Vanguard is fairly easy, a bit of a test for a Juggernaut. But overall impressions, pretty crappy right now. But anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon, and goodbye.